One way to encourage disciplinary literacy strategies in a math classroom is by making sure that students not only know their vocabulary, but can also understand the new words they encounter in a deeper fashion. This means understanding the relationships between the various words and their functions, similarities, and differences. In particular, the math area of geometry, which I teach, seems to be flush with a lot of vocab. By the time the final exam rolls around, students need to have learned and worked with around 200 terms, symbols, and formulas. To review all of these terms, I plan on incorporating the associating strategy of analogies with my students. I will scaffold them through this strategy over a course of several mini-lessons, not more than 10 minutes at a time, spaced out. I will start by modeling explicitly for them the different kinds of analogies, the symbols that are used to abbreviate the linking words, and how to complete their own analogies. I'll use the reproducible from the appendix of our Ellery and Rosenboom text to do so. Some examples of analogies for geometry might include arm is to elbow as angle is to. The answer would be vertex, and this is a whole to part type of analogy. Acute is to smaller than 90 degrees, as blank is to larger than 90 degrees. The answer would be obtuse, and that would be an example of a synonym relationship, basically just a definition. Line is to straight edge, as arc is to blank, and this is an example of a purpose analogy, so the answer is compass. And then finally, surface area is to 2, as blank is to 3, and that's speaking about the type of dimensions that each term refers to, and so that would be volume. The next time we encounter this strategy, I will have students proceed to take envelopes of 4 pre-selected terms and organize them into an analogy that makes sense. They will do this in randomly selected groups of 3 students each, which is a learning grouping my students are already used to working in our flipped classroom environment. These heterogeneous groupings allow for easy differentiation and increased interactions between lots of different ability level students. As a quick side note, there are a couple of things that I do to group my students quickly and easily. The first is an app I have purchased for my iPod called Who's Next? This app allows you to set up classes of students, enter your attendance for the day, and then select the number of groups you want to create. It automatically generates the random groups and even assigns fun group names to each one for you. I have found that using this app really takes the element of favoritism or avoidance of certain students out of the picture. I also allow students to sometimes choose their own method for grouping from a list that I have generated. When we've used one strategy, we cross it out from the list so that a different one gets used next time. Giving this autonomy occasionally also helps increase motivation and engagement in my classroom. Getting back to the analogies though, the third time students see the analogy strategy, I would have them use it as a warm-up for the day and give them 5 minutes to come up with 2 analogies to share with the class by entering them into a shared Google Doc. Our school has carts of Chromebooks that could be used for this purpose. We would then review these analogies as a whole class, specifically analyzing the relationships shown and whether they were valid analogies or not. From that point on, I would regularly ask students to generate the analogies, this time in sets of 5 in 5 minutes time for sharing with the class. I would include selected analogies as fill-in-the-blank exercises on students' actual final exam in June, in lieu of the traditional matching term-to-definition column list page we have historically included. Our textbook also suggests that this associating strategy, using analogies, could be used to create a Jeopardy game. For my high school students, this idea might not be the best choice, but for those interested, I did find a website called jeopardy.rocks, where you can easily create your own Jeopardy questions and run teams through the game you create. It even keeps score for you. Hopefully this video has shown you some good ways to teach your students vocabulary by using analogies. Thanks for watching.